As Passover ends, one of the natural questions we might ask is what to do with all of the leftover matzah. I might have underestimated or perhaps overestimated what was necessary for this year's celebration of Pesach, and I have 4 extra boxes I haven't even opened and a few sheets left in a 5th box. There are 2 answers that I'd like to offer today as to what to do with leftover matzah. The first might be unexpected, and the second perhaps is an expected answer. I begin with the unexpected. There is in our tradition something called Pesach Sheni, a second Passover. It doesn't mean we set up the whole Seder plate or the Zoom Haggadah or anything else, but rather it is an observance that comes from the Bible, where a year after our ancestors left Egypt, they had a number of individuals in the community who were ritually impure and therefore could not partake of the Passover sacrifice as our ancestors did in order to observe Passover. And so those individuals went directly to Moses and Aaron and said, if we can't participate in the Passover sacrifice, could we please do so a little bit later? And thus was born Pesach Sheni, a second Passover, 1 month later, where those who were ritually impure earlier became pure and were able to participate in the Passover sacrifice. So one way in which to utilize that leftover matzah is to keep a couple of sheets, and 1 month from the first Seder, eat a piece of it and observe the second Passover. The second answer to what we do with the leftover matzah is to donate it. Now, it's not necessarily to donate it to a Jewish community because Passover is over and that's not necessary. But matzah is a cracker and can be eaten by both Jews and non-Jews at any time. And I've learned this week, as many of us I imagine have, that the Free Store Food Bank, for example, is desperate for food donations at this time. What they went through in 6 months, they are now going through in 1 month. And there are a number of organizations such as the Barbash Center for Vital Services and any that you might designate that needs our food donations. So perhaps you'll do what I'm going to do this year, which is not only donate these 4 boxes, but for every box I'm going to add 1 or 2 other food items, put it together as a package, and give it to those who are most needy. After all, matzah is a symbol of the bread of the poor. Those who are in need should eat it, and we should be so gracious at this time as we conclude Passover and offer that which is left over, not to waste, but to those in need.